There it is! Alright, and now we draw cards. Yeah, we'll draw a card off Jae.
Discover the unknown.
Ooh! Draw a card off Jae.
Discover the unknown.
Hey everyone, Raptor Spank here with another Stiff Brew, the show where I build a deck around a fringe or unorthodox card. This deck is built around the Piltover card, Jae Medarda. So the deck starts with 3 copies of Jae Medarda, a 6-cost 4/4. When I'm targeted and survive, draw 1. The simple goal is to use cheap Demacia burst spells to draw tons of cards. Units that target other units, such as Brightsteel Protector, also trigger Jae Medarda, so this deck is all built around just drawing tons and tons of cards off our Jae Medarda and just somehow winning through that. So let's look at the champion package first. This starts with 3 copies of Vi, a 5-cost 2/4 with Challenger and Tough. While I'm in play or in hand, grant me +1/+0 when you play another card. Max +8/+0. She levels up when she strikes for 10 plus damage, and then she becomes a 10/5 whenever she strikes a unit while attacking. Deal 5 to the enemy nexus. Her champion spell is Vault Breaker, a 3-cost burst spell. Give an ally +2/+0 this round. Create a fleeting Vault Breaker in hand. This is another win condition of the deck because of the fact that we have a ton of cheap spells and we're often casting them targeting Jae Medarda. This will actually pump our Vi very, very quickly and get her to the point that she can level up the turn we play her. So she's just another way to close out games in our deck. When we're looking for some way to win, we can always land a Vi, use cheap spells to keep her alive, barrier to keep her alive, and just kill enemy units punching the Nexus every time. In addition, her champion spell actually synergizes with the deck incredibly well, since it creates another copy in hand and it pumps a target creature of ours, so we can use it to draw cards off Jae and make our Jae even bigger, and then it'll create more copies of Vaultbreaker so we can keep casting on Jae, so we can keep drawing more cards off Jae. The whole idea there is that it just works really well with it. Next up, we have 3 copies of Lux, the 6-cost 4/5 with Barrier. She levels up when she sees you cast 6+ mana worth of spells, and then she creates a Final Spark. When she levels up, she becomes a 5/6, and whenever you cast 6+ mana of spells, create a Final Spark in hand. Final Spark is a 0-cost slow spell with Fleeting and Overwhelm. Deal 4 to an enemy unit. Her champ spell is Prismatic Barrier, a 3-cost burst spell. Give an ally barrier this round. Another win condition of the deck, or primary win condition of the deck, since we use a lot of spells in the deck, we can level up our Lux very quickly, and then start getting all of these Final Sparks, and then just use it to mow through our opponent's units and deal damage to their Nexus, as well as just having Lux as a big body on the board. Lux's champion spell, Prismatic Barrier, also synergizes with the deck really well. It can protect Jae Medarda and trigger him to draw more cards, so it just synergizes with what our deck is looking to do. It can also be good with Vi to protect her, so she serves as a better win condition. And in a pinch, you could use Final Spark to potentially trigger Jae as long as you have a buff spell or Chain Vest to go with him, just to make him survive the hit, but you're not really looking to do that because it just makes it too easy to kill Jae. Next, let's look at the alternate win cons package. This starts with 3 copies of Astute Academic, a 1-cost 1/2. Whenever you draw a card, give me +1/+0 this round. This is a massive payoff with the Jae on the board. Since Jae's going to draw us a bunch of cards, Academic can get super big. In testing at one point, I had a 7/2 Academic with Elusive that was just pounding away at our opponent. So this just is another way to make what Jae Medarda does actually win you the game. And it's also an early curve out, so we can use it as an early chump blocker in the aggro matchups where we need to buy time for us. And just in general, it can help force some early damage through since it's a 1-drop. Next up, we have 2 copies of Sumpwork Maps, a 2-cost burst spell. Grant an ally elusive. This can be used on a payoff like Astute Academic, Jae, Vi, etc., even Lux, just to force damage through and to get past our opponent's blockers. A leveled up Vi, for example, is going to start hitting our opponent's Nexus for 10 in the air if we can get her to that point, and then our opponent's going to have a really hard time dealing with that. And it can also just be used as a burst spell to trigger our Jae and draw some cards. Finally, we have 2 copies of Karina Veraza, a 9-cost 6/6. Play, obliterate the top 5 cards of your deck to deal 1 to all enemies and enemy nexus for each spell obliterated. We have a decent number of spells to make this kind of heavy hitter, since we have a lot of pump spells to draw cards off our Jae. She can potentially hit a pretty large amount of spells. The problem being we do still technically have more units than spells in the deck, so she can whiff a decent bit. We're more or less hoping to find our units so there's less in the deck, but this is why it's just a 2 of, is that we're just looking for a really big body in the late game that can force a little bit of extra damage through and hopefully clear a lot of our opponent's chump blockers. Next up, we have the Trigger Package. This package is all of our cards that are just designed to draw a ton of cards off Jae for a hopefully fairly cheap price. This starts with 2 copies of Chain Vest, a 1-cost burst spell, grant an ally tough. This triggers and protects Jae, and it's at burst for a really cheap price, so we can go into our Jae Medarda turn with 3 banked mana, and we can just cast like multiple Chain Vests or other 1-cost burst spells and just draw cards instantly without our opponent being able to do anything. And since he already has 4 health, making tough on top of that makes it very hard for our opponent to kill Jae in pretty much any matchup. Next up, we have 3 copies of Radiant Strike, a 1-cost burst spell, give an ally +1/+1 this round. Same thing, it's a really cheap way to trigger Jae without giving our opponent an opportunity to react. And it can help get extra points of damage through to kill our opponent. It can make our Jae really big. It can make it hard for them to kill our Jae by giving them 1 extra health. It's just an all-around great card for the deck. And then next up is 3 copies of Brightsteel Protector, a 2-cost 3/2. When you play her, give an ally barrier this round. This triggers and protects our Jae. It can also protect Vi to guarantee her level up without her dying. It's just a really good card. It comes down early too, so we can use it as a blocker. We can use it to give barrier to a turn 1 astute academic, so that maybe on turn 2 we can swing with it or block with it without losing the card. It's just a really great curve out that also can be used to draw more cards off Jae. Then we have 3 copies of Prismatic Barrier, a 3-cost burst spell, give an ally barrier this round. This triggers Jae at burst speed as well. It costs 3, so you can bank that much mana to going into your Jae turn. It protects the Jae from damage-based removal. It's just a good all-around card to protect all of our win conditions. It can be used on Vi and Lux as well. It just keeps our win conditions alive and can draw cards off Jae. Then we have 3 copies of Laurent Bladekeeper, a 4-cost 2/3. When you play him, grant an ally +2/+2. This triggers Jae. This buffs Jae to make him a pretty sizable threat on his own, especially if you have a way to give him something like elusive. Then it's just another body on the board, which can buy us time. You can use it to buff the other 2 win conditions too, as well as Vi and Lux, and that can be really helpful for leveling up your Lux and protecting her so that your opponent can't kill her very easily. And then finally, we have 3 copies of Back-to-Back, a 6-cost burst spell. Give 2 allies +3/+3 this round. This can trigger Jae while also buffing another unit, so we can get really favorable blocks out of here. And it levels up Lux instantly at burst speed without giving our opponent a chance to react. It can be used to create final sparks when she is leveled up, since it costs exactly 6. It's just a great way to benefit all the things in our deck. It can get Vi to level up quicker. It can get Lux to level up instantly. It can create final sparks when we need to clear the board. It can make Jae really hard to kill, and it can do both of those at once, for example. It's just really, really good for pushing through lethal, drawing us cards, keeping everything alive, getting really favorable blocks. It's an all-star for the deck, essentially. Then we have the utility package. This is just a bunch of cards designed to either deal with opponents' threats, or just draw us towards our combo pieces, or just answer some of the biggest problems our opponent's decks can produce. This starts with 2 copies of Zonai Urchin, a 1-cost 2/1. To play me, discard 1 and draw 1. This cycles to reach our win conditions. It can also be used in a pinch to pump Astute Academic to make her more threatening on her own. And it's just a great early drop to slow down our opponent's strategy, to buy us time to get to our expensive 5 and 6 cost win conditions. Then we have 3 copies of Mystic Shot, a 2-cost fast spell, deal 2 to anything. This is just to deal with important enemy units, to buy us time to get to the late game. It can always go face for lethal, and if we absolutely have to, we can point at Jae. He lives through the shots, so he'll draw you cards, though it makes it very easy for our opponent to kill him, so it's not ideal, and this basically serves as our only form of removal in the deck. We just hope that our Lux can do enough to remove our opponent's biggest threats. And then finally, we have 2 copies of Unyielding Spirit. An 8-cost fast spell, grant an ally I can't take damage or die. This can trigger Jae, but since it costs so much mana, it's extremely unlikely to be used for that purpose. It's basically just there to target one of our win conditions and just lock the game out for our opponent. It also levels up Lux instantly, so that's great. And just in the right matchups, it's an ace in the hole that ensures our opponent cannot win. It's very good against expensive removal, because then, like board wipes like Ruination and Vengeance, they use them, target our unit, and we Unyielding Spirit in response. It's very hard for those kind of decks to have a second answer. It's really bad into Ionia decks, where they could bounce our unit or deny the Unyielding Spirit. So in those matchups, the card's pretty useless, but in other matchups, like Shadow Isles, it can be an all-star card that just completely locks our opponent out of the game. So that's the deck. Now let's take it into some games and see how it does. Alright, this looks like we're playing against Bannerman. Interesting choice to go with Quinn in the Mono Demacia version, but almost certainly a Bannerman deck. Well, there's our Jae. It's tempting to keep the Lux here. We're gonna keep this All Night Urchin, just have a turn 1 drop. I guess we'll pitch Lux and we'll keep the Jae, so we have our primary win condition in the deck. Those are a little unfortunate. I think we'll pitch this Unyielding Spirit. It is good in the matchup, but I think right now we're so far away from casting that it doesn't really matter. Oh, let's get some free damage through. Yeah. Well, interesting. It's making me think less that it's Bannerman deck, considering that they haven't done anything yet.
Come on.
Okay. This makes me think Bannerman, so that's really unlucky they didn't have any 1 or 2 drops. Yeah, I don't think we don't really want to... It's highly unfortunate, but we don't want to lose our Urchin for no value. Oh, is he gonna single combat? He's thinking about it. That would be disappointing, but it would be kind of foolish of him to do that. Alright, we're just happy to have other blockers out here. So, although this isn't who we really want the Bladekeeper for. Decisions. Yeah, I think we can swing with him. Because he kills either of these, and then we can use Radiant Strike next turn to kill the Badger Bear without losing our Urchin. This isn't a great position to be in, but it's not that bad. Ooh, that's actually really good. We'll run the Vi out if we get a chance to here. Just to have one more blocker.
He smells something.
Alright, we will block that. See what our opponent does. If he has Riposte back-to-back. We're not allowed to have that, only we're allowed to have that. The question is, do we try to kill this? I think we do. I think we use the Radiant Strike. Kind of unfortunate, though, because we did want to have that. We can't take a hit from both of these. We can't take 11 damage this turn. So we gotta waste the Radiant Strike to stay alive here. We could take the 6 hit, though. See what he does. I think he does have a single combat here, but in the off chance that he doesn't, the real question now is whether we play this. Yeah, see, he has it. Whether we play this Jae Medarda or we play Lux.
Down.
If we had the Radiant Strike still, I would play Medarda and use that to draw a card. But since we don't, I don't know if that's really a good play for us. I think we're gonna go on Lux here, and that way we have Prismatic Barrier in hand. So next turn we can play Jae plus Prismatic. See what our opponent has. Alright, well, we can definitely swing. Oh wow, he's just gonna take the hit. I mean, makes sense. That's not bad. See what he does. That's scary. Yeah, I guess we play Jae.
What I find, I keep.
And then I guess we're just gonna block and prismatic.
Demacian steel. Try Demacian magic.
Discover the unknown.
Now let's see. So Lux can live through this turn. We might just lose Jae here. That's unfortunate, but we have to block 2 things.
Shine with me.
Back off, buddy.
So we have to lose our Jae. We can either lose both or just lose Jae, so. Alright, 8 mana. So we can play Vi plus Barrier.
Vi stands for vicious.
Well, we can deal with this Badger Bear. And we can use Vi to kill Cythria. See what our opponent does, though. At least they can't play Garen here.
Scared? I don't blame you.
Interesting. I don't know if Barrier actually saves that, to be honest. Alright, I don't think we could save the Lux, but we can save Vi here, potentially.
I'll protect you.
And we level the Lux up.
Brighter than before.
So now we can use Vi to kill Cythria, we can use Final Spark to kill Badger Bear.
Going to the light.
Punch it! Eat this!
See if he has like a single combat. Well, that's, yep, and that's game. Alright, Tempo Sejuani. This ought to be interesting. One of the more competitive decks we can face, so. Although it's fallen off a little bit in recent times. So Unyielding Spirit is going to be pretty strong in this matchup. I think we're going to pitch these two, and then it's rough to keep a hand that's this high cost, but both of these are good in the matchup if we can live that long. Oh, that's perfect. Astute Academic is the best thing we could have found here. We can use her plus Radiant Strike to deal with most 1 to 2 drops that our opponent could put out. Oh, Omen Hawk's not that bad.
How exciting!
I'll block if he attacks to deny the Sejuani proc. Yeah, I didn't think he would. And we're still gonna swing. Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't block. He's in pretty good shape to block. Alright, no 2 drop, that's pretty good. We just need to buy ourselves time essentially, so the longer it takes our opponent to set up, the better. Alright, well, that was a pretty good 1 drop for him to find.
Catch me if you can!
Well, we're fine with that. Interesting he wouldn't swing with Petty Officer. Huh! Well, that's an interesting card for this deck to be running. Chances are we're probably going to play this Bladekeeper and just buff our Academic. We need to buy ourselves time to get to this Jae. I want to hold this Radiant Strike and Chain Vest if I can to draw cards off him. But we'll see how that goes. That's one of the worst cards we could have our opponent find and have it hit off an Omen Hawk and a Island Navigator. Our opponent just got nuts lucky, in fact. To hit an Omen Hawk off that too, that's insane. That's literally not possible. Alright, let's see what they go for. I mean, we'll absolutely block that
Always
with
forward.
Bladekeeper just to kill it. Alright, yeah, we'll block like that.
Love ya.
Our opponent has gotten extraordinarily lucky so far. I'm not sure we can even count on this unyielding spirit anymore. Yeah, I think we're gonna pitch that to draw a card. This way now we can attack, we can kill the Island Navigator. Alright, so block Navigator here. The question is whether we use other spells to kill anything else. Yeah, we'll do this. And then we still have full banked mana going into the J turn. I don't know what my opponent was thinking there. Maybe they had Make It Rain, and they were thinking that might just magically hit that one, which is possible. But doesn't really seem worth it when he could use it for a plunder trigger. Yep, this is yeah, this is definitely looking pretty doomed. What do we find? Lux. Yeah, there's a lot of options here. We came to play Jae though, so let's play Jae. See how this goes. I don't know what our opponent keeps thinking he's gonna cast.
Discover the unknown.
Another Jae is not really what we wanted. Dear Lord. This person has infinite Omen Hawks. I mean, that only deals 1 damage to Jae, so I'm not worried. I think we'll probably play Lux.
Love ya.
It's tempting to play Vi. I mean, maybe Vi is better here. Okay, we'll play Vi.
Piltover Enforcer on the scene. You own what you take.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, we'll just see what our opponent does here.
Stand and fight.
Oh yeah, and Misfortune leveled up. Yeah, this game's over. There's nothing we can do here.
That's Captain Fortune.
Our opponent got absolutely extraordinarily lucky with their Omen Hawk hits. Well, at least that doesn't actually hit
Back off, buddy.
Jae. Yeah, we definitely need to draw some cards here. Yeah, I guess it makes more sense to do that.
Button to nothing.
Discover the unknown.
Well, if we do
Let's
that,
get to the
it'd be
fun part.
3, 4. That's still not enough to actually kill this Sejuani. At least those Misfortune hits didn't actually do anything against these two, but this is, yeah, pretty much guaranteed to be doomed. If we could live long enough to play this Karina, maybe, since we've drawn so many units.
Vi stands for violence.
Weird. I think we're probably lucky that that didn't hit our Nexus. That was probably a Riptide Rex.
Idiots.
Discover the unknown.
Unfortunate that we can't play that.
Fun part.
Yeah, I think we're trying to clear some of the blockers. Alright, let's see if our opponent goes straight to combat. Ooh, that is one of our better draws. Thank God Sejuani doesn't level up yet.
Back off, buddy.
Yeah, we'll do that. Now the question is there a better play than playing Karina here? I think yes. I think we want Lux here.
Let the light guide you.
I'm expecting like Riptide Rex maybe? Yeah. Okay. So where is all this going? Okay, so that would kill Jae and kill her. So the best choice here is just to back to basics, heal both of them. And now we get a final spark. Final spark and kill Riptide Rex.
Discover the unknown.
Oh, another back to basics, not too bad. Now everything lives, so that's the good part. Alright, well now she dies, but... Oh, I didn't even realize that Riptide Rex has that much health. Yeah, so there's nothing we can do, right? Yeah, nothing we can do will actually... Now he attacks. That does 5, plus Misfortune triggers lethal. Yeah. Alright, yep, that's game. We're not gonna waste any time. Oh well. Our deck has a hard time winning, and it's very obvious in a game like that. Okay. Well, it's the Vladimir deck. FN Crimson, so... I think I like the Demacia version of this deck better, but the Freljord one can be a problem. I think we'll keep Urchin, and we might even keep one Mystic Shot, but the rest of this we're going to pitch. Just to have some early action, to hopefully buy us time. Well, there's our Jae. Brightsteel Protector is actually pretty good because of... okay, we're gonna... Unyielding Spirit is so good in this matchup, though. Alright, you know what? I'm going to pitch this Mystic Shot. Brightsteel Protector is pretty strong here. Because Brightsteel Protector can eat or trade most of with the Crimson units. So if he goes with Crimson Disciple or Crimson Curator, Brightsteel Protector deals with that. Okay, this is also not a bad spot here. We'll take damage if he swings, but now if he swings, he's just going to lose Ruthless Ritter. Yeah, so we just fogged a turn. That's good. Alright, we're starting to get spells for our Jae turn. I suppose I should have swung with Zonite Urchin there. He probably wouldn't have blocked. We're still fine trading Urchin if he goes for it.
In the War Mother's name.
Okay. We can eat that. I suppose maybe we should play this Bladekeeper.
Destruction feeds my fire.
Yeah, we'll play Bladekeeper and we'll pump this Urchin. So this Ember Maiden's not going to be too much of a problem right away. In fact, the only thing it'll kill is this. Which, since we know that fact, we are going to actually trade this. Because this Ember Maiden is going to deal 0 damage to his Ruthless Raider, and it will eventually kill that, kill our unit before killing Ember Maiden. Okay, well we got 2 Jays now. This could be good. And I mean, Unyielding plus Lux is pretty game-ending for our opponent, so... This Ember Maiden plus Brahm's a little bit bad for us though. And his board state could get out of control quickly here. Ooh, back to back is one of the best cards we could draw here. But that said, I'm not sure it's worth it. Interesting. Yeah, we're not playing anything yet. I want to play Jae and draw cards, but this is like... If we play Lux, we're in great shape. Yeah, so we'll skip blocks, we'll take the hit. Play the Lux.
Everywhere I go, the light
I don't
follows.
think he should have answers here. So... We sketched him out of playing Brahms simply by not doing anything, so that was pretty good. Now, can he do anything in response to Unyielding Spirit? I don't think he can. So I think we'll play Brightsteel Protector just to have one more thing on the board. And then we can Unyielding Spirit, and then use Final Spark to kill something here. Probably her. I don't think he's got anything he can really do in response. I suppose... Yeah, okay. Yep. This will definitely make things significantly better for us. Oh, yep, see, there we go, and there's the surrender. Little early of our opponent, but we'll take it.
Do we win?
Alright, I'm guessing this is some sort of Bilgewater Ionia aggro deck, by the looks of it, with Gangplank and MF. Twisted Fate's probably just there for value, so this ought to be an interesting one. Alright, that hand's pretty solid. We don't have Jae Medarda, but with Astute Academic into Brightsteel Protector, that gives us an answer to early threats. I'm half tempted to keep this Lux just to give us a late game insurance. In fact, like, it's tempting to keep this whole hand because Prismatic Barrier on turn 3 can buy us some time. I think we're going to do that. No Jae Medarda, but this hand's pretty solid. Let's see what our opponent has. Alright, no turn 1 play for them is pretty good for us. We'll just go straight to combat and hit him. I don't think it's worth playing Brightsteel Protector.
Let's test my theorem.
Then we could bank this Mystic Shot. Yeah, we're fine with this outcome. Now we can Mystic Shot, and we can play Brightsteel Protector to block this turn, or we could just pass the turn. I mean, we're fine with this. If they're going to give us time, that's exactly what our deck wants.
Just as I hypothesized.
We'll just get in there again. We're only 2 turns away from Lux now. We're in pretty solid shape here. Oh, they did draw a card from our deck, though. That's very scary. Our deck has a lot of cards that blow out our own deck.
We know the value of coin.
Yeah, we'll block, maybe? The question is whether we use these Prismatic Barriers. Yeah, sure. Would have liked to get this Brightsteel Protector out and block it with that. Alright, that was the best possible outcome. We're definitely going to run this Lux out. And I guess hopefully it doesn't get Will of Ionia. Our opponent's deck is really weird. The question is whether we Mystic Shot, because we Mystic Shot to kill this Grifter. Maybe we keep it in case we want to kill Shadow Assassin instead. Alright, well. See what we... Oh! That was him? He lost a Grifter? Okay. Man, what do we do here? We can run out Jae. He's probably not going to die to what they have. So we can Jae plus Chain Vest and Mystic Shot? And he's not really threatening us yet. Yeah, we came here to Jae, so we're going to play Jae. With Bilgewater and Ionia, he doesn't have a ton of good removal for Jae. I'm not entirely sure what happens if he Will of Ionia's him. We might still draw a card.
There's plenty of killing left.
Okay, we're fine with that. I think we do actually just... Well, I suppose we don't need to Chain Vest, Jae. We don't want to swing into these 3/3s, because that will do a lot. Yeah, we're fine passing for now. We want to ideally play Lux next turn. That's a little sketchy. At least our deck doesn't have a lot of removal, so when our opponent steals cards from us, they're not stealing removal. As weird as that sounds. Okay, he stole a Chain Vest from us. And he stole that just now. That wasn't off Grifter, because Black Market Merchant reduced the cost. Ooh. Okay. Maybe we kill Black Market Merchant now. I mean, it's already too late. It's already too late. Ooh, Sumpwork Maps is great. We want to play Lux here if we can. Yeah, perfect. Lux can block Gangplank.
We can do this.
And we can only use Sumpworks plus Chain Vest Jae Medarda, draw some cards, and make a real threat out of him. If he swings his Shadow Assassin, we probably will do that. Is it worth it to save our Astute Academic? I think the answer is no. I think we're looking to save these two. So I think we're fine with that. I don't think there's too many scary plunder things he can do right now with what's left.
Hang 'em by their entrails.
Oh, he's actually gonna swing
I
the
will play
Gangplank,
my
huh?
part.
Okay. We're actually just gonna eat this Shadow Assassin.
Discover
And
the
we're gonna
unknown.
draw a bunch of cards with Jae real quick.
Discover the unknown.
Block here, and we'll block here.
Get out of here.
And this won't even do any damage. Ooh, and now we can Sumpwork's Lux too, potentially. That's unfortunate. Well, we have another Lux, so it's not the worst thing that's ever happened. And his Gangplank's still almost dead, so we can Mystic Shot it. Really unfortunate he got our Mystic Shot off that. But, I mean, he could have had, like, Make It Rain, and that would have accomplished the same thing. He does have Pilfer Goods. Maybe we should have killed this Black Market Merchant last turn. So we've seen, what, Mystic Shot plus Chain Vest from our own deck. So our opponent still has... Okay, there's another one. So they still have 2 of our cards, one of which is not cost reduced. I think we do just swing right off the bat.
Here first.
I think what we're setting up to do here is probably Lux plus Bright Steel Protector. But we'll see what he does. Alright, we can't really do anything about that. That's unfortunate, but is what it is. Okay, so we don't draw if that happening. That's good to know. We're definitely not going to play Bright Steel Protector now.
The sun is shining. We should too.
Now, question is... Wow, Slop, what is our opponent's deck? Other than trying to be everything. Okay, I think we're actually going to run out this Bright Steel Protector. I think we want multiple blockers
Protect
next
each
turn.
other.
We need this Lux, though, because we need the removal. Ooh, Vi's a pretty good find now.
Their legs.
Okay, so what we're going to go for here. We're going to block here.
This is my choice.
We're going to block here.
No closer.
We're going to go back to back. Level up our Lux. Get a Final Spark.
Pushing my limits.
And then we're going to Mystic Shot kill things. Starting with Gangplank. So if we kill Gangplank, we're going to go to 4. Like that, perhaps? This is a little risky to tap out like this, but... He shouldn't have too many pump spells. I suppose he might have Spirit's Refuge, and he has our pump spells, potentially, but he's going to need 2 of them. So let's see what he's got. A deny for one of them. Is he denying the Grifter one? That's really weird. I think he misplayed there. I think that was meant to be the Gangplank one. I can't imagine that. Yeah, yep. That was a misplay. Our opponent denied the wrong one. Alright, let's just kill this Black Market Merchant. Get it out of our way. And our Vi is pretty pumped right now, so we can use her as well for removal next turn. Tempting to play Medarda again, start drawing cards. I suppose we could play... Oh, he countered that one thing, so that doesn't work. I was thinking we do Jae plus that, and that would give us a Lux Final Spark, but that's not quite there. I could do both of these. Alright, yeah, so we'll play Vi. Then we're going to make Lux fly. And then maybe Prismatic Barrier Vi.
Like a flower, Zon will bloom.
Okay, how worried are we about this? I mean, it can't kill Lux. We already know that. Okay. That's the last cost-reduced card they have. Okay, yeah. Alright. We were good. We didn't need to worry about it at all. That's good. I didn't think our opponent was going to have a ton of spells, so... Alright, so I think we'll just go to kill Karina here. I think we'll probably kill this. Our health total is pretty low.
By the light.
If only our Vi leveled up there. So close.
You're covered.
Okay, so we can't kill Karina, so we won't even go for that. We'll swing in the air, though, and we'll grab one of these. One of the big ones, one of the 3s. Now we don't have any more Mystic Shots, so that's a little unfortunate, because we can't use that to kill Grifter, and we already know it. But we can block most of these this turn. Oh, that's a pretty good card.
Pockets, huh?
Okay, so we will block here.
Shield up.
We will block here.
There's the one
We'll
two
block
punch.
there. He probably does have an answer to that. Maybe we won't. Block like this.
Shine with me.
And then we're set up to Karina.
Get yours.
My blood,
And I think we do go for Karina.
my writing.
I suppose there's no reason for us not to Urchin. But yeah, we'll just go for Karina here. Should be able to clear the board at least. Wow! Oh, well, that was unfortunate.
They'll be blown in the water.
Is that game? Yep, and that's game. That's quite the blowout. Well, sometimes RNG is not with you.
Losing is just.
Okay, looks like either ephemeral aggro or ephemeral mid-range. So that's going to be probably a fairly aggressive deck. So that's the big thing we're worried about here. Zonite Urchin's pretty good. Lux, I don't know that Lux is actually good in this matchup. It's tempting to keep back-to-back plus Lux to level her up. We'll keep the Lux, but we're going to pitch this. We can't have too many high costs here. Like I said, their deck is really threatening early. Okay, this is perfect. This is good. This is what we're looking for. Yeah, we'll play Academic, I think, first. And we'll get in there. And depending on what our opponent plays this turn, we can use Brightsteel Protector to block for free.
Does death follow me, or peace?
Okay, we'll do this.
Covered.
Alright, so we'll play Zonite Urchin here, because that prevents our opponent from blocking the Academic. And we'll keep back now. Now we have a good aggro hand here to hold our opponent's board at bay. Sapling Toss. Okay. That's going to be a problem, but it's not a problem yet. So,
Just as I hypothesized.
since the Sapling can kill either of these, wow, he's going to let us kill it. Alright, that's good. We're fine with that trade. Soul Shepherd can get really out of control, so getting rid of it like that was super good for us. Okay, Bark Beast. Yeah, we're just gonna pass. We are definitely willing to double block here. Okay, alright. Yep, nah, that's fine. That happens. Oh, I'm not gonna save that with Prismatic Barrier. I'd rather save the Prismatic Barrier for one of our win conditions. Definitely looking like a Lux game right now, so yeah, we'll just pass. I don't really want to spend any of these spells.
Everything's better with
Yep,
company.
that can become problematic, but we'll see. Biggest blowout for us right now would be like a Will of Ionia. Okay. Well, at least he can't will our Lux, so we can block this Hecarim.
Let's move.
Alright, so we'll block here, and that's a decent amount of damage. Yeah, I think we block like that. And then Lux lives here. And that's really the only thing we care about. She has to live. The rest of it doesn't matter. I think we're just gonna, yeah. I think we're gonna like Sumpworks Map, Chain Vest, Barrier. Okay, yeah. We're gonna fast level our Lux.
We're in this together. I've been hiding my light too
And then
long.
we're going to probably kill Greenglade here? I mean, it doesn't really matter, so I guess we can... Yeah, we'll kill Greenglade so we can hopefully get in. And then we have Mystic Shot for the Hecarim. And we just have to hope our opponent doesn't have Will of Ionia. There's a good chance they do. And that'll suck, but... we still deal with a decent number of things here. Okay. Yeah, we're fine burning a Deny there.
Do not fear.
Okay, now, do we have to kill Zed? I don't think we can kill Zed here. I think we have to kill this Hecarim because Hecarim is the most threatening thing they have. Yeah, we're gonna kill this Hecarim. With this much ephemeral stuff, I mean, he's gonna get the Shark Chariot back anyways, but we can't let that Hecarim level up. Okay, well, if we can play Bladekeeper, we will. Okay. I think we have to block here. Yeah, I think we have to block here. We're in a dangerous spot right now, that's for sure. Well, stabilized that one so far. Just have to hope he doesn't have Atrocity. Because if he has Atrocity, we're just dead here, but I think we're going to play Bladekeeper and Pumper.
For the honor of my house.
The question is, do I back-to-back? That's fine. What are we at, 2 of 6?
Lovely day for a battle.
Okay. Now we back-to-back. Because that will kill us. Hopefully he doesn't have Glimpse Beyond. If he does, then this game. Yep. Yep, and that's it. Nothing we can do about that. Alright, well, Anivia / Warmother control. This hand's not awful. Mystic Shot's pretty useless in this matchup, though. It's not completely useless, but it's pretty useless. Nice early curve here, though. We don't have our J, but we'll find it. Maybe we just run out and just do Academic here. Oh, and we can block that. So if he swings, we can eat it. Yep. Didn't think he would swing. Yeah, we'll play Brightsteel Protector. He's just gonna chump, but it's still our best play.
I'll spot him.
Please, I have connections.
Alright, well, we at least got the last breath triggered. Slowly chew our way through our opponent's blockers. Use Radiant Strike to keep an Academic alive while blocking Avaros and Sentry. Yeah, so I think we're actually gonna go for that. I think we have so many of these that we're fine doing that. And this keeps our creature alive. He might have like Vile Feast or something like that, but then we still force him to use it.
I brought my books. Hope that's all right.
The question is whether we save it if he tries to Vile Feast.
These old eyes still see far and
Oh,
clear.
he's not Vile Feasting at least. Alright, we'll swing with everything. I assume he blocks here and blocks there.
Look out for reavers.
That's weird. Oh, he must have Withering Wail. Yeah, he's setting up a Withering Wail here. He probably fires it right now too. Heal back up to full. The question is whether we care to save anything. I don't think so. I think we're just looking for Jay at this point.
What's that noise?
Okay, so he's not going to wail this turn. Alright. We're okay with that. Man, if we can find Jae Medarda, this is going to be great. I mean, with 2 Radiant Strikes, a Chain Vest, we got this Prismatic Barrier, back-to-back, like... This is the perfect game to find Jay, which is probably why we won't. Alright, I think we do swing here. We're going to lose one of them, but I assume he has some sort of spell to kill him anyways. Yeah. Yep. That was expected. Well, now we just have to wait and hope we find a win condition before our opponent locks us out of the game.
That egg. Did it move?
At least we got plenty of time before they kill us with only 1/1s on the board. Man, we are going to draw so many cards off Jay if we get there. We just have to hope we find him off the top of the deck, or like a couple of urchins to cycle to him. There it is!
I love it.
Alright, and now we draw cards. Yeah, we'll draw a card off Jay.
Discover the unknown.
Ooh. Draw a card off Jay.
Discover the unknown.
And swing. Hope they don't have Vengeance. And if they do, I guess we'll just draw some cards off Jay. Oh wow, that worked. Catalyst? Alright. I think we'll draw a card off, Jay.
Discover the unknown.
Okay. That's not bad. Yes, her plus. Yeah, we'll take the damage. And we'll draw a card off Jay.
Beauty in the blade.
Oh, that would be really good if he Ruinationed and I had that up. But unfortunately, we're not gonna... Ooh. Okay. We're fine with that.
Discover the unknown.
Oh yeah, and we draw a card off that. Thanks for the cards, my man. Alright, we'll pass. We still have room for one more card. What's he got? If he vengeances, it was really silly that he grasped. Okay, if we play her, we don't have Unyielding Spirit up. So we're going to Brightstone Protector and draw a card off Jay. And we're going to draw a couple cards off Jay. Alright, there you go. And that's the power of Jae Medarda when it works. Alright, so how did Jae Medarda do? The answer is not very well. In total, I played 8 matches with the deck, and I went 3-5, and 2 of those wins were against Anivia Control, so I actually just cut one of the games because they play very similarly. I think that's just a matchup we're super favored into, because Anivia controls removal that deals with our threats because of how much toughness they have. Like Grasp of the Undying won't do it because Jae Medarda has 4 health, Lux has 5, so they have to use Vengeance or Ruination. And it's it's impossible for them to cast 2 of them in one single turn. So Unyielding Spirit makes that matchup super favorable for us. And they don't really pressure our health total early on, so we have the time to get to big payoffs like Jae Medarda and Lux and Vi, but in reality, the deck is it's really not good. A lot of decks have a lot of creatures right now and can pressure your health total very quickly, and the deck just doesn't do enough early game. Even with the 2 1-drops and the 2-drops and the 4-drops, it's not enough to really build a wall, and in many ways we can't actually trade with what our opponent has. So the problem is that while we can buy ourselves a turn, fog like a turn, we can't actually deal with our opponent's threats. With all the spells we have in the deck just to draw cards off Jay, the problem is we don't really want to point removal at Jay, so we're pretty removal light, and Mystic Shot's just not quite enough to deal with some of the threats that are in the game right now, and aggro decks just shred through this deck. It's very slow, it's very clunky. Other than Anivia Control, which does actually feel like a great matchup for us, the FN Vlad Brahm's the only other deck we beat, and that's just that's a tier 2 deck, and even then, like, they could pressure our health really badly, but he didn't have a 1 or 2 drop, so... Or no, he had the 2-drop with Ruthless Raider, but his deck was playing extraordinarily slow, so I don't know that wins one that we really want to take much away from. I think we got a little bit lucky, he got a little bit unlucky, and just in general, his deck's not as high-powered as some of the other things we faced. But we lost to meta decks like Tempo Sejuani, we lost to unheard of / fringe decks like BI aggro, and Ephemeral aggro's not a good deck anymore, but it still destroyed us, so it's really fun. The deck is definitely fun once you start comboing off like we did in the Anivia Control game, where we just drew a bunch of cards off Jae Medarda. Like, it feels great, and then when we Unyielding Spirits, our opponent can't even kill them, and then when we're getting like a pumped Vi off casting spells, or we're getting Lux leveled up super quick off our spells, it feels really great. So when it works, the deck is super fun, but it rarely works, and it can be pretty miserable when you're just getting absolutely slammed by decks because it just doesn't do enough quick enough. I really like the idea of Jae Medarda, but he should be elusive. They should have left that keyword on him. They shouldn't have taken that off him, because that was basically the only thing that made him pretty good, and then we could drop stuff like Sumpwork Maps for something a little bit better, like removal, like single combat, something like that. But As it is, Jae Medarda is a fun card, but definitely not anything I would recommend for going into ranked with, unless you're really just looking to have a fun time. It's a fun card, just a bad one. So all in all, the deck is super neat, super interesting. You draw a bunch of cards. It feels great when it works, but you're basically 1 in a million to win most matchups. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to try the deck for yourself, you can find the deck code in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos like it.